Hi guys, and welcome to another one of my declutter videos. Today we are tackling more blushes. We are looking at all of my mauve blushes. So I will say I think some of my mauve blushes kind of blend into some of my dusty pinks. So I'm hoping I've done a good job of sorting here, but I did want to go through all of these. I've kind of tossed more berry tones in here as well. So I've got a lot to go through in this container because this is definitely a color of blush that I enjoy quite a bit. Like I mentioned in my earlier decluttered videos, if I'm decluttering a blush, it is either going to go to a friend or a family member who would enjoy it, or it is going to Project Beauty Share. I will link more information down below about that organization and how they help out women in need with new and gently used beauty products. Like I've done in my other blush declutters, this time we're not going to be going brand by brand. We're going to be going formula by formula. So we're going to go, I've done a sort first based on color. Next, we're going to sort these colors into formula. So we're going to look at matte, we're going to look at satin, and then we're going to look at shimmer blushes, swatch those, get rid of any duplicates, get rid of any formulas that I just don't love, and then total everything up. I hope you guys are enjoying this series. Let's go ahead and lay these all out. Okay, so here are all of my matte blushes. I will say I'm looking at these. Some of these are probably crossing the line between mauve and nude. If it said rosy in the name, I probably put it in here. So we may end up with some things that I look at and I go, ooh, that's almost more nude going. But for purposes of today, I'm going to keep everything how I have sorted. Let's pop everything open here that we can't already see. All right, let's grab these more cool tone shades and just get all of those swatched. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. Up first, this is the Be Matte blush from City Color. This is in the shade Blackberry. This is one of, I think I've said before, this is one of my favorite winter shades. It really is a unique matte sort of, I don't know, boysenberry color. It's definitely one of my favorite colors for winter. It's very cool toned leaning, gorgeous shade. This is Lorac. This is another one of their Color Source blushes. This is in the shade Chroma. This one I think is fairly similar to that. If anything, nope, it's a little more rosy. So still very cool toned leaning, but a lot more rosy. This is Flower Beauty. This is the shade Sweet Pea in their flower blushes. I really did like this color and I like this formula quite a bit. And then this is from Jordana. This is the shade Rose Silk. Another really affordable blush. Okay, so I definitely feel that this shade here from Lorac Chroma is different. I'm gonna put this to the side to keep. For as much as I like this shade from Jordana, I feel like I have other things like this, so I'm gonna pass this guy along. These two actually ended up being a little more similar than I would have thought, so it's these two shades here. At the risk of being really ridiculous, I kind of still want to keep both of them. I enjoy their formulas, and they're similar, but there's slight differences to them, so maybe not my best declutter decision, but I'm going to keep both of these. So let's move on to these here. So this is from e.l.f. This is one of their new blushes. This is the shade Always Rosy. These feel so nice, guys. I mean, seriously. Yeah, see, I'm glad I got rid of that Jordana one. That's very similar there. This one from Bare Minerals. This is one of their new Gen Nude blushes. These feel amazing too. This is the shade Call My Blush. Similar shade, but it looks a lot lighter on the skin. Isn't it fascinating how these two in the pan look so freaking similar? But they are so different. Gen Nude ones really are significantly lighter on the skin than they look in the pan, and it kind of throws you, to be totally honest. But as someone who's super fair, I actually appreciate that. Those don't really look the same. This is from LA Girl. This is Just Blushing Blush in Just Playful. I did like this formula. It's super creamy. See, these are where it starts to look almost a little nudish. Let's keep going. This is Kiko Milano. This is the shade Fusion Trio Blush 05. They never put the names. They name them online, but they never put them on here. And then this is the Balm Springs from the Balm. I know I love this blush. One of my favorites. That's a little more rosy, a little more pink. Okay, so this one here from Gen Nude, I do feel like is different. It's pinker. It's definitely different than anything there, so I do want to keep that. So this e.l.f. shade here, and then this LA Girl shade here, don't look similar in the pan, but on the skin they look very similar. So that is this shade here. That is the LA Girl, and then this is the e.l.f. one. I think I want to keep the e.l.f. one. And I think I'm going to pass this along to a friend who I think will really like this shade. I know I want to keep this one. This one probably should have been more in the pink section than the mauves, but I do like this one. I want to keep it. This one here, I can argue that this one is different than these shades here, but at the end of the day, I've not been reaching for this one a ton. I'm pretty sure these are discontinued as well, so it's not like I could even talk about them. Kiko is notorious for putting out really cool stuff and then discontinuing it not that long after it's been out. So I'm gonna pass this on. I don't think I'm gonna miss it. All right, up next, we're talking about my satiny blushes. So let's get all of these guys open. It's funny, I look at some of these and I think, man, I probably should have put that in a different category, but hey, we are where we are right now. All right, let's start down here. These are my more nudie mauves. So this is my Project Plan blush for the year. This is from e.l.f. This is the shade Mellow Mauve. I love this blush. I've continued to use it up. It is a very neutral shade, but it definitely has a hint of mauve to it. It's just a gorgeous blush, guys. Like it's beautiful. I love this blush on fair skin. So definitely keeping this, obviously panning it for the year. So that goes nowhere. This is from Essence. This is another one of the Satin Touch blushes. This is in the shade Satin Love. Gorgeous formula on this. A little bit pinker than the e.l.f. blush, which is a little more nude. Seriously stunning blush formula though. And then this one is a butter blush from Physicians Formula. This is the shade Plum Rose. This is very, very neutral. In fact, I probably should have put this in my neutral blushes, but it's also very fair. So I think unless you are very, very, very fair, I don't think this is a blush that you will probably love, but it's one of those ones that swatches like crap and looks so pretty on my cheeks. So far, I don't feel like any of these are 100% the same, so I don't feel like I want to get rid of any of these. I'm not doing so good in this blush category, guys. Let's try this. This is the Maybelline Fit Me blush in mauve. I did try this one because I couldn't remember how I felt about it. It is very, very light, but it is really pretty on my skin as well. It's a little pinker than these other mauves that we've pulled out so far. Very light though. Next up, let's look at this. This is the Catrice Strobing Blush in the shade Mrs. Rosalie Berry. Looked at this shade in my roundup for Catrice for new releases this spring. I really like this formula too. This is so tough, guys. And then this is Milani. This is Color Rays blush palette in 04 Berry Rays. Similar concept to this Catrice one in terms of different, being able to kind of target different zones to get a color. And then last but not least, this is from Julep. This is Your Happy Look. For as much as I like this, I have other pale blushes that I really do enjoy equally to this, if not more. So I do think I'm going to pass this Fit Me blush on. This is such a cool, interesting nude color. I do want to keep this from Physicians Formula. Struggling a little bit here. So this is the Essence blush, and then this is the Catrice blush. They are very, very, very similar. I really like the formula on both of them. This one I think I can pass on. I think I can live without it. I think I've got other pinky shades that are kind of similar to this one from Milani, so I will pass on this Milani blush. I also think I can pass on this Julep one and not miss it. It's different than what's on my arm here, but I think I have pinky blushes that were very similar to this. I'll pass that on. Okay, I think the battery died right as I was saying that even though I can't completely justify keeping these two because they are very similar shades, I am still keeping them, so. That is that. Okay, so I am admittedly not doing as well in this category, and I really feel like I'm gonna have a hard time here as well, but let's dive in. Let's open these up. So these are all of my more luminous, glowy products. This is an Urban Decay blush. This is the shade Rapture. It looks very deep, but it is one of my favorite sort of murky mauve shades in the winter time. Like, it's got a really pretty sort of purpley cool undertone to it that I think is completely lovely. Kind of in a similar vein, this is from Ciate London. This is the shade Into Deep, super glowy, but it's got a champagne running through it, so kind of a swirl. And so I feel like this one, yeah, it's got a similar undertone, but it is significantly lighter and it's got a really nice gold shift to it. Another one that I think is fairly similar, this is Mood Exposure from Hourglass. This is definitely one of my favorite blushes. I love it, and I think it's going to be a little bit lighter. Yeah, so you've really got a full gradient in this sort of murky plum category. So I love these in the wintertime. I love all three of these. I can't see myself giving any of them up. And at least I feel like the swatches are different enough that it can warrant that. So these are two sort of more interesting purpley tones. This is from Becca. This is, I think, discontinued. This is one of their mineral blushes in the shade Gypsy. It is a lavender that has a really light pinky gold shift to it. It really is a unique color in my collection. And then this is another really unique color. This is very purple. It's from Revlon. It is the shade No Rules. It was part of their limited edition No Color Charge line. And it really swatches like crap, but it's really pretty on my cheeks. It's very cool toned. Even more so than Gypsy. This is from Laura Geller. It is another one of their Baked and Brighten. This is in the shade Rosenberry. This should have been in my pink section. Well, yeah, probably should have been in the pink section. And this is a little mini version, and this is in the shade Catalina. And then this is a mineral blush from Ulta. This is the shade Tiger Lily. This is very nude. In fact, I wonder if I should put this in my nude blush. Yes, that is in the wrong place. This is going in the nude blush section. I think I'm going to pass this one on. I don't think I'm going to reach for it. I have other rose blushes that I kept, and I think this is a shade my mom might really enjoy, so I'm going to pass this on to her. And I think I'm going to pass this little baby guy on as well. I still want to keep Gypsy. I just think it's a really cool purpley pink color, really unique. I don't have anything like it. I've never seen anything like that shade. I don't know how often I'm really going to reach for it. It is super unique, but I feel like if I'm going to do purple, I could easily reach for this and layer on some purpley highlight over the top. Yeah, I think I'm gonna pass this one on. Okay, so I did okay. Not as well as the past two declutters, but I am keeping 13 blushes here and I'm getting rid of 10, so that's still 43%. So I guess that's about comparable to what I did for the pink section. So I don't know, I really like mauve blushes. I think they look really pretty on cool tone skin, and I wear them all year round. So that wraps us up for today's declutter, guys. Look for other declutter videos from me coming soon, and make sure you hit subscribe and that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my future declutters. I hope you guys are having a great day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.